Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming here today. The end of the year last e-learning session hosted by Momiji and JSS. Today's topic is Seniors, IT and Beyond, Reconnecting through Technology, presented by Isabel Yamamoto, staff member of Momiji Healthcare Society. So before getting into the topics, we have, as usual, housekeeping rules. So this session is recorded, and so the Q&A time will be allocated to the end as usual. So while you're listening to the presenter's presentation, please stay muted. You're automatically muted right now, but please stay muted until the Q&A time comes, okay? And we're not going to be recording at the Q&A, so feel free to ask anything at the Q&A, okay? And so keep your note for any comments and questions during the presentation. If you have a difficulty remembering, of course, if you can just keep sending us through the chat with your questions and comments, we will try to go through with it later at the Q&A sessions. Okay, and it's up to you to have your video on if you're connecting through online, or you can turn off if you would like, but we would love to see your lovely faces, and it's good for everyone to see the live person over the internet as well. So okay, that's what we would like to ask you, if that's okay. All right, so now let's go to the introduction of the hosting organizations. So Momiji Healthcare Society, my name is Chie, and we are a nonprofit supportive housing in Scarborough, serving seniors and caregivers in English and Japanese language. We have a virtual and both in-person programs for seniors and caregivers in community and Momiji. And we have a community congregation dining happening throughout GTA. So the participants gonna do activities and social chatting and all that over nice bento lunch eating. And at Hamilton, Oakville, Mississauga, and Toronto. So Toronto has downtown and Shepherd West, Don Mills. So various places you can gather and having yummy bento and chat and make friends there. So also Markham is another location. So if you're interested in, please let us know. And we also launched Seniors IT and Beyond project. It's the name of this seminar. And what is it about it is gonna be explained by Isabel. So stay tuned. Okay, over to JSS.
Hey. Thank you, Chie-san. So we're Japanese Social Services. So my name is Lumiko, and we are a nonprofit agency that provides counseling and programs in both English and Japanese. Currently, we're providing service remotely, so you can reach us by phone or email, and we are starting its annual holiday drive program this weekend. So JSS will be purchasing and delivering food, essential items, and a gift card for families in need. So we are asking all community members to provide financial donations to help facilitate the holiday drive purchases. So you can check our website on how to donate. Thank you. Back to Chie-san.
Thank you, Rumiko-san. Okay, then today we have Isabel Yamamoto from Momiji Healthcare Society. So over to you, Isabel, take over.
So hi, everybody. Are you able to hear me okay? Yeah, okay, good. So I'm just going to share my slides. Just 1 second. Are we all able to see this?
Yes. Wait,
oh.
It's yes now.
Okay.
You might want to make it to
to full screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody can see this okay?
Yes.
Good. So just a little introduction. My name is Isabel Yamamoto. I'm currently working at Momiji under a contract. This will be until April to help with the IT Seniors and Beyond project. We have a few participants here in the room, so I'm going to try and talk in between. But if anything's not clear, just stop me and let me know. So a little bit about me is I'm a graduate of psychology and linguistics from the University of Ottawa. And I was here as a summer student, actually this summer as well. So I'm really glad to be back helping with the IT program. I am also Japanese Canadian as well. So being part of this is really important to me and very special. Sorry, just got a microphone. 1 second. Okay. Are you able to hear me all right? Still? All right, great. So I'll start to talk a little bit about our project. So it's called Seniors IT and Beyond, and we had the opportunity to fund this program through the Government of Ontario through the Seniors Community Grant. So this is kind of came about because during the pandemic, a lot of people were disconnected from their families due to the distance, and online kind of gave us that opportunity, but a lot of our seniors were missing out. And we're hoping through this program that we can increase IT literacy, which basically means how we, the knowledge we have about computers, how we use technology, stuff like that. So as I said about the program, it was funded by the Government of Ontario. This will be a free program for all seniors, particularly at Momiji, because we are running it in person here, but also within our general community. So yeah, feel free to join us anytime we are running the program. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. So it is a limited program until March, and it will be running about 3 times a week in person with the group sessions and one-on-one. We're also going to make it available on Zoom. We're still working on that, but yeah, the goal is basically to improve the IT literacy of our seniors. We also have a little bit more about what we're going to do here is the computer and smartphone basics. So say if you had a cell phone that you were gifted recently, don't know how to use it, we can work with that. We're also going to talk about basically from the beginning of how to use any sort of computer, whether that's Apple or PC. We're also going to have some online exercise classes. So SALC, our Seniors Active Living Center, already has these really great programs for our seniors. We're going to be live streaming some of those, and hopefully we'll be getting to do those in the community as well. So we're also going to talk a little bit more specifically later into programs like Zoom, Microsoft, any sort of program that might be a little bit more complicated. We're going to get into that later in the sessions. And it will also be available in English and Japanese. So the goals of our program, just to increase sociability. I know it was hard during the pandemic, trying to get in touch with family and friends. So hopefully this will kind of create that sense of community connection. We're also hoping to increase the physical fitness of our seniors. This is basically through our programs with SALC and Momiji, and obviously increasing our IT literacy, making that sense of being more comfortable using technology. It kind of creates a sense of independence and confidence as well. So for the location of our events, it's going to be on site usually 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That would be at Momiji on the 2nd floor day lounge. We have group sessions on those days from 10:30 to 11:30 in the morning. We also have one-on-one sessions. Those start at 1 p.m. and are by request. So there is a sign-up sheet here, or you can email us. I'll show you that information in a minute. But if you're not able to come to Momiji, we also have hubs in the community. So like Chia said earlier, congregate dining locations, I have that information as well. Those will be happening less often. They'll probably be once or twice a month, depending on the location. So if you are able to come, please join us there. And there will also be some available online as well. So in the community, we have some dates predetermined. So we have in January, Oakville, that's at HMC Connections, January 25th. Mississauga, January 18th, West Toronto Christian Community Church. We have Donway Place on January 31st and March 28th. So these will be probably around noon. This is usually for the lunch programs. So if you are able to join us, that would be great. Anybody's welcome. It's free. We're going to have refreshments and stuff like that. It'll just be a pretty safe space to kind of learn something new. We are also hoping to have Toronto locations as well. And maybe Markham, we're going to see, but that's still in the process at the moment. So yeah, like I said, this is a little bit of the information specific to Momiji. It is, or it will be accessible through Zoom. At the moment, we're still setting that up, but the group sessions are, like I said, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We are hoping to do Fridays as Japanese only, just to cater to the Japanese speaking residents here. And they will be from, all of those three will be from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. And like I said, one-on-one sessions, they are available by request. Most of the tenants here will sign up on the second floor, which they have been doing. And anyone outside would have to send an email information as well. And that would probably have to be done through Zoom or remotely, unless you were able to come into Momiji or one of the community locations. So this is a look at our schedule. I'm just going to close this. So we have already kind of started this already. We had December 5th, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. This is kind of our starting point where we talked about some of the start menu options for your computer, where you can find your settings, your preferences, how to restart, shut down, how to work with your display. So your brightness of your computer, the sound, how it comes out to you. Later on, we're going to get into more specifics. So more things you can find in your settings. Another part of December 12th will be what if so-and-so doesn't work. So common issues that you get with your computer. And then as we go along, you can see in January, we have photos, exploring email. We also have later on internet. So kind of the basics of the internet. I know it's a very complicated topic, but just how to use the basics of that. Later on is Wi-Fi versus data. A lot of people want to use the internet outside of their home. That's not always possible. So how we differentiate between using Wi-Fi in the home versus outside, and troubleshooting as well the next week. So what to do if the internet stops working. That's kind of a common problem I think we all have. So if you are interested in any of these, I'm available through email, isabel@momiji.on.ca, or through SALC, which is our Seniors Active Living Center. So salc@momiji.on.ca. At this time, if we have enough time, I would like to kind of get into some of the basics of our lesson that we did on December 5th. I hope we have enough time here. Let's just see. Oh, sorry. Was everyone okay? Did anybody miss anything? I'm talking a little bit fast here. Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 1 second. I will just share the lesson I had from before. Can everybody see this okay? Yeah, okay, great. So this is one that we have done Monday and also today briefly this morning. Some of us here at the in-person may have seen some of this already, but this is kind of our starting point. So basically, whenever we use our computer, our laptop, we're going to often use a part of it called the start button. So this is kind of the basics of that. So covering today will be, so navigating the start menu, kind of what you're gonna see within that. This is specific to laptops and computers. iPads are a little different, but some of the things that we learned today will be interchangeable. So under the start menu, we have restart, shut down, or sleep. Those are 3 different things. So we're going to learn a little bit about that. We have force quit. That is when an application isn't working at all. You want to just exit out of it. And we also have settings, your preferences, display, has to do with how bright your screen is, what kind of volume the sounds are at, and also system updates, which is something that you should do every so often just to keep your technology up to date. So we'll get into that a little bit more. So if you do have a Mac, which is an Apple product, you'll often see the logo as the shape of an apple with a bite out of it. So that's how you differentiate if it is a Apple product, a Mac. This is the start menu as well. The logo is the same. So you're going to look for that Apple symbol with the bite out of it. That will be your start menu. On PC, which is any computer without that Apple logo, you're going to want to look for this window symbol. And Windows 10, which is the more recent version of the software that this kind of computer uses, is going to look like the black and white one at the top. And then an older version may look a little different. It may look like the more colorful one on the bottom. So within that start menu, you can sort of think of it as anything that might be general needs. So anything to do with how the computer looks, how it sounds, if it's on or off, and managing things that you're already using. So that could be email, that could be the internet, things like that. So when we talk about shutting down, that basically means to turn the laptop or computer off completely until we need it again. This usually saves the battery pretty well, so you don't have to keep it plugged in all the time. And the symbol you want to look for is at the top right of our screen. It's like a little circle with a smaller circle inside. That would be on your keyboard or on the larger part of the computer itself. So always look for that if you need to turn it off. And then whenever you need it again to turn the computer back on, it usually means holding down that power button, which is the symbol at the top right. Anytime you hold on it for a long time, it'll either shut it down or turn it back on. So restarting means to shut down the computer, like we just said, and have it turn back on automatically, meaning you don't have to long hold on that button again. It's just going to start up again without you having to do anything. So sleep mode is the last sort of option for turning off your computer. It's basically going to temporarily close it. It's not going to shut it down where you're not going to be able to open it back up easily. This is one of the things you can use if you're going to use the computer maybe an hour from now, but you don't need it right now. So it's just an easier way to wake the computer up. So on a Mac, we can find those under that Apple symbol. You can see in the picture in the top left. And those highlighted options with the yellow arrow, those are your options for sleep, restart, and shut down. On PC, it's the same symbol as we saw for Windows, the black and white one, and your 3 options are there as well. So moving on to force quit. This is usually a last resort. This is something you do if, for example, your email is completely frozen, you don't know what to do, you've tried clicking things, it doesn't work. So you can choose force quit on the start menu as well. I'll show you on a Mac. This is under the Apple symbol as well. This is your start menu. You go to force quit finder, which is highlighted, and it'll give you a list of all the programs you're using at the moment. And say email is not working, you look for email and you just close it off, and that should work. On PC, it's a little different. It's called the task manager. That will be under your start menu as well. Like we talked about that Windows logo with the black and white. And then you go under processes, which is highlighted in the red box. And then you'll see under your apps, whatever's not working. So in this example, it's Microsoft Excel. If you click on that and click end task, that does the same thing. So that's force quit. Okay. At this point, I just want to check, is everybody okay? Do I need to repeat anything? Everybody's okay? Okay. All right, just wanted to check. All right, so we'll continue here. This picture of the keyboard on the right, the black keyboard you can see, that is also another way, a much easier way to get to Task Manager on your PC. So it's kind of hard to see, but on your keyboard, there's a key called Alt, A-L-T. And if you hold that down while pressing F4, which is at the top, they're both in their red boxes there. So Alt and then F4, that'll give you that list of programs that are on your computer. And then you just click the working and it closes. It's a lot easier than going into a task manager. But so next is system preferences. This is kind of like your settings. Like I said before, your display, stuff like that, like your sounds. So on a Mac, again, under the Apple Start button and system preferences. So this is just an example. We're going to talk about the Mac part first. This is specific to Mac, but I'll talk about PC afterwards. So we have, as you can see, the highlighted parts, displays, sound, and security and privacy. Oh, I just got a message here. Oh, and yes, we will be sharing the slides with everybody later, so you can come back to it. I know it's a lot to take in right now, but yes, we'll share that. Yes, so displays, sound, and security and privacy. Those are pretty important to know as your basics. We're also going to talk a little bit about software update. That's right above displays on the screen you see here. So if we're talking about displays, so that symbol is in the top right. That's what you're going to want to look for on your Mac. So under displays, we have brightness. Brightness is how basically backlit your screen is, how bright it's going to come to your eyes. That is kind of what makes it easier to see, so it's not too dark. You can adjust that with the bar that's to the right of the highlighted brightness here. You can put it on automatic. That will kind of sense where you are. If you're in the dark, it'll get brighter. If you're in the sun, it'll get darker. And also the right side, the red circle, F1 and F2, that is on your keyboard. If you have a Mac, that will make it F1 is lower and F2 is higher. for the brightness. So we're still under displays here. This is kind of a bonus feature that comes with newer technology. Any kind of technology with a screen emits blue light. So blue light is damaging to the eyes, so you want to be really careful. Night shift, which is in your display settings, that is something that will protect your eyes and hopefully help you get a better night's sleep. If you're someone who looks at your iPad right before bed, you know, keeping it on night shift will kind of help with that. Basically what it does is lowers the blue light temperature, meaning it gets warmer. So the warmer the temperature of the color, so like orange, it'll change the screen to an orange tint, making it easier on your eyes. So that's where the highlighted part comes in. So less warm, more warm. I would always recommend keeping it as warm as possible just to protect your eyes. For the sounds, it's pretty basic. If you go into the sound, which is that symbol at the top there, under output, that is what you are hearing from your computer. So you can adjust the volume, the highlighted part down here, output volume. But the easiest way is always to do it through the keyboard. So on the Mac, F10 is mute, no sound. F11 is lower, F12 is higher. And on the newer Macs, it may be a touch screen on your keyboard. So that's at the top right of your screen right now. So security and privacy is very important, especially when you're using the internet, when you're using a computer. So under security and privacy, you can look at general. This is where a lot of people say, I want to change my password because someone set up my computer for me and they know my password because they set that up. This is basically where you find that. The highlighted part says under general, change password. And also I would like to mention require password, which is also highlighted. That is very important. So if you leave your laptop open somewhere, anyone could kind of get into it right away if you don't require the password immediately. So I would check that box off. And if ever you're trying to do this in your settings and it says that you can't make changes, at the bottom left of the screen here, it says click the lock to make changes. That might prompt you to put in the password you use for your computer. So say you open up your computer and it says log in with your password, that's a password you're going to use. So we are almost at the end here. So privacy, again, very important. Location services is something I would always recommend to keep off. See here under privacy, there says enable location services. That personally I keep off. That is something that allows other people, companies to locate you where you are since you have your device. So same thing, just click the lock to make the changes. You might need your computer password for that. And the last part for Mac is software updates. This is something you should do regularly just to make sure you have the latest technology working on your computer. Usually you can click automatically keep my Mac up to date, which is where the yellow arrow is. Sometimes it doesn't always work. So you might want to go into software update, which is the gear symbol, and just click update now. If there are any updates available, it will tell you. So the update now button will be there if you need to update. So now looking at PC, again, PC is anything that runs Windows. So anything that has that black and white Windows symbol, or or any computer that doesn't have the Apple symbol. So if we go to our Windows symbol, like we said in the beginning, the start menu, and then we go to settings, which is where the yellow arrow is, we're going to find basically the same thing as we did on the Mac. It's just going to look a little different. So this is an example of the settings on PC. Like the Mac, we have system, which is your display, like your brightness and your sound. We have here, it's a little hard to see. So we have privacy as well, and we have updates. So I'll show you a little more into that. Display is basically the same as for Mac. You can adjust your brightness, which is the right box here with the red. Same thing as with the Mac, you can make it higher or lower. And night light, just below that, is the same as night shift. So the thing that's going to protect your eyes. And on the left, we have changing the size of your text, numbers. Say you have a really hard time seeing really small letters or numbers. That's what's going to change that for you. So on your screen, it comes much bigger. And with any of these things, don't forget to press apply. That's on the first picture with the pink circle, just because otherwise you won't apply that change to your computer unless you press that. So sound settings is pretty much the same as on Mac. You go to system, you go to sound, and like I said before, output is what you're hearing. So the volume you can lower or make higher, and that's that bar there highlighted under volume. And so privacy, also very similar. We have it under privacy, general. I would recommend turning the first two that you see off, because these are things that track your activity, that send you advertisements based on you. And that's basically information companies are getting from you. So to stay safe, I would say to turn those off. So you can find those under privacy and general. And just the last part that I'm going to talk about today is the update and security, just like we talked about on Mac. So that's under update and security and Windows update. So if there are updates available, like in the red box, it'll tell you. And it'll also tell you when you last checked for those updates as well. So if any are available, there will be the download button, which is just about in the middle of the screen above pause updates for 7 days. There's a download button. Just hit that and it'll start the download for you automatically. So that's pretty much the basics. I know it was a lot, but like I said, there's going to be slides sent to everybody. And if there's any questions, I can answer those or repeat anything. But I appreciate listening, and hopefully you learned something today. So that'll be everything from me for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you. Rumiko-san, if you're there.